Hi YouTube, I'm Chris. This is my show. My life is an air adventure. My buddy Don just got the comic bento box for the month, or at least a sample box. He had him send him some samples, and it got me thinking. I'm not big on people sending me books or comics or choosing what I read. I like to choose what I read. Either I see it in the bookstore or see an article or whatever. So I thought I'd bring up some. I told him on his video, link to his video, that Image has really been knocking it out of the park with their new series. So I thought I'd show you some of the new series that I was talking about real quick. And I'm just going to go in alphabetical order. I alphabetize my comics in the boxes that I have. So first up is Birthright. As you can see, it's a little boy on the cover. He doesn't stay a little boy for long. If you can see close, see if I can do it. See, that's him in the background too. It's kind of a reverse Flight of the Navigator, where he disappears. And for about a year, I think, in a story in his family's life, and comes back as like a 30-year-old man, barbarian basically. He goes to some mystical world. There are people with wings, with wings on their back that they fly and fight with swords, and he's basically some prophesied child, prophesied warrior. But there's a twist at the end of the first book that I won't reveal. But like I said, it's kind of a reverse Flight of the Navigator with Narnia. Yeah, Narnia story thrown in, maybe. So it's really good. It's 4 issues in right now. So the first trade should be coming out in about a month or so. I really enjoy it. But yeah, the next book that I'm really enjoying is called Copperhead. And the best I can say is, if you really like the work of Joss Whedon, and if you really like Firefly, you will probably like this. Also, that sci-fi series, Defiance, I think it's called. Basically, it's... She's gotten in trouble at her past job, and she shows up. Something happened at her last job. She shows up in this space frontier town as their new sheriff. There's several species of aliens. One that's kind of like a dog, one that's a bit of a slug, and then there's an artificial life form race that people are afraid of. Like, they build them for war, and then once the war was over, they stopped appreciating them and basically started treating them like horrible people. Kind of like, when the people came back from Vietnam, I guess. So yeah, it's, a mystery series, I guess. She's a cop, so it's, her and her partner don't really get along. It just started. It's 5 issues in. The first arc just finished with issue 5. It's written by Jay Farber, or I'm assuming that's how his name is pronounced. Faerber, who wrote Morning Glories. He did not write Morning Glories. He wrote Dynamo 5 and another series that I don't remember. What was it called? It was kind of like another family book, where the heroes were all kind of related, but I can't think of the name of it at the moment. But Jay Farber, Faerber, really good series. I'm only going to pull out the first issue of the next book, Nailbiter. Yeah. Okay, Nailbiter is about a guy who is another cop series. The main character is on administrative leave for a shooting or something, and his buddy calls him to this town where, like, a bunch of the world's most vicious serial killers have come from, by coincidence, or, maybe not coincidence, they're not sure. And then his buddy goes missing, and people start getting killed, and they find his buddy, and, yeah. It's really interesting. I picked up, like, the first 8 issues, or the first 7 issues, I'm not sure which, all in one go, just because, I was pretty sure I was going to like it. The girl at the comic shop that I bought it from, or bought most of the issues from, I bought the first 3 online and then the others from my buddy's comic shop. And she was like, really? You're buying all of these without having read it? And I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm going to like it. So yeah, Nailbiter, it's really good. It's by, let's get the name right, Williamson and Henderson, and art is by Gazowski, Hill, and Levin. So yeah, and it is 9 issues in, so there should be at least one trade out there. The issues are really expensive, but the trades out there. Oh, I forgot to tell you, Birthright is also by Williamson. I am assuming it's the same Williamson. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same Williamson. But yeah, Nailbiter, definitely worth a check out. I don't know if it's been adapted for it's been optioned for a TV series or movie or whatever. The next series that I read is Robert Kirkman's Outcast. Now, I picked it up solely based on Kirkman's name alone, which isn't always a good thing. I picked up some things on Kirkman's name and I didn't like them. What was the wolf one? The Astounding Wolfman or something like that. I just thought that was horrible. I really liked Super Dinosaur, and I think that got canceled, or at least it's just on a really slow hiatus. But yeah, Outcast is about demon possession and a guy whose mom was possessed, and then his daughter was possessed, and he, basically beats the daughter or whatever because, she's demon possessed. Of course, the world doesn't realize she's demon possessed, so they think he's just a monster. So yeah, it's all about him battling the devil. I really like it. It has been optioned for a TV series, and I'm trying to think of who they said they cast. Patrick Fabian, maybe? I know who it is, but I could be wrong. But I'm pretty sure it's going to be on HBO or Showtime, one of the two. So yeah. Another series I like is called Rat Queens. Rat Queens is a D&D style guild. They got the wizard, the thief, the barbarian, and then I don't know what the other one is. But yeah, I picked it up based on the word of mouth that it had been getting, and it had, it was several issues in, and I had to pay an ungodly amount for the A covers of the first 3 issues, and then I tracked down the other issues. It's taking a long time to get out, and I guess one of the creators got in trouble, and he's off the book. The artist, I guess, maybe. But we're not going to get into that because I don't. Yeah, I don't know anything about it, and I can't judge. But yeah. So again, it's Image. But there should be a trade out there of the first 4 or 5 issues. And then they had a one-shot issue, basically to bolster their slow release date. That's one thing I don't like getting into a book so early, is because it takes so long for them to get, a bunch of issues out. Some books take forever. But yeah, I really like it. It's really funny. It's dark. It's a bit adult. Lots of sex and drugs and alcohol and drunkenness and all that. The next book, and this is probably my favorite book. It's called Spread, and it's by Justin Jordan, Kyle Strahm, and Felipe Sobrero, I guess. The guy on the cover kind of reminds me of Wolverine. More of a Cro-Magnon Wolverine. It is a parasitic apocalypse. I guess parasitic alien apocalypse. They're not zombies, although I guess the dead do rise. I'm not sure exactly, but basically he finds this baby whose tears can kill these alien parasitic creature things. So it's kind of a mix of... It kind of reminds me, the baby's called Hope. No. Wait a minute. Is that right? No, I have to look. It's 5 issues in. I really wish it was a lot longer, farther along, because I really like this book. Let's see. Yeah, Hope. So it's kind of a nod to the Cable series. I mean, got a guy wandering around with a baby strapped to his chest. Yeah, it's really good. The art is beautiful. Gruesome, but beautiful. I would probably the best art of any new series I've seen. And I would recommend at least flipping through it for the art alone. I think the first trade probably will be out soon, because I'm pretty sure issue 5 ended the first arc. But like I said, it's taking a while to get out. There's been months. I think I picked it up in July, and it's only 5 issues in, so I picked up the first issue in July, and it's only 5 issues in, so if that tells you anything. Comics usually come out monthly, and this one's taking a while. So, the next series is called... The first issue is called Tooth and Claw. The second issue is called Autumn Lands, Tooth and Claw. And the reason for that is apparently there was a licensing right with the name. Apparently it's Tooth and Claw is the name of a band, or maybe an album or something. But they couldn't use that as their full name, so now it's called Autumn Lands, Tooth and Claw. And it is a world full of creatures, all anthropomorphized animals, bears, warthogs, owls, buffalo. Buffalo are the groundlings, basically. They don't like all the other creatures, because they're more of a... They do all the physical work, and all the people that live in the Sky Cities reap all the benefits. But anyway, they're trying to revive the original champion or something. It's only 2 issues in. Actually, no, it's 3 issues in, but my local comic shop forgot to give me the first issue, or the 3rd issue, so... But yeah, so they're trying to revive, bring back... magic has been waning or something, and they're trying to bring back the original champion. And they do, and it's a big surprise when they do. So yeah, it's very wordy. There's just pages full of prose, whereas most comics are word bubbles and lots of art, and sometimes there's pages with no words at all. So if you don't mind reading, I would recommend picking it up. The art is pretty good. It's not my favorite of the new series, but it's by Kurt Busiek, so I picked it up on his name alone. I've liked his work in the past. I think Kurt is the mastermind behind Astro City. I'm gonna have to look that up. So he's good at building worlds. See, now I have to look that up. He's good at building worlds. It's an interesting concept. I'm looking forward to seeing where it goes. I liked the twist. A lot of people said, "Oh, it's predictable," and we didn't like it. I liked it. Thought it was interesting. So yeah. The last new Image series that I'm reading is called Witches, and it is right now 3 issues in. The art is a very stylized art. That's the best I can tell you. I'm not overly fond of it. It's better than some, worse than a lot. But then I like Rob Liefeld. So, Liefeld, however you say his name, I like him. So, and a lot of people I know don't. So, my art taste is not everyone's art taste. I hate the guy that does Preacher. I hate the guy that works with Grant Morrison a lot. He did All-Star Superman and some other books like that. I just can't stand him. But I have buddies that swear by him. Pick up anything by him. So, yeah. Basically, this family moves to a new town after there was some issues in their old town. And immediately their daughter starts getting bullied. The mom's in a wheelchair. And we haven't quite figured that out why. Some sort of accident, I think. Maybe the father was involved. But, yeah. It's a fantasy series, but more of along the lines of, like, something you would see in Supernatural or X-Files. Than something that's straight up Buffy, or Angel, or, any of those. Feels very X-Files-y to me, which isn't a bad thing. People like X-Files. So yeah, there's some other books I'm reading, and some other 2 other new books that I'm going to be picking up, both from Image. There's one book I'm reading called Men of Wrath. But that's from, I think, the Marvel Icon line. And it was a good series. There's a series called Fade Out, which is a very noirish series, and I've only read the first issue of it. So, I can't really talk much about it, but it's okay. I think if there's anything else new I read The Sixth Gun, I read Chew, I read Morning Glories. Those are the main off-brand books. I mean, not off-brand, not Marvel or DC that I read. So yeah, those are Image's books that I read. Sixth Gun's not Image, by the way. It's from Oni Press, the people that put out Scott Pilgrim. And I read Atomic Robo, which is by Red 5 Comics, which is kind of a cross between Rocketeer and Hellboy. And they put out a miniseries of it at least once a year, sometimes twice, depending on how fast they can get them out. And they always put out a free comic book day issue. And I have every issue of that series. So yeah, those are some of the comic books I read. I should probably have gone into more detail and done some more research, but I've been meaning to do this for a while and been putting it off and putting it off. So yeah, I get my comics usually once a month or once every other month. depending, because the one comic shop I go to is well outside of town, and I have to have someone drive me there because I don't have a car. But I really like the books that I've been reading, and I could transfer them to the local shop, but I don't. I like to give my business to 2 different shops, and one shop's only because it's right down the street and I can walk to it and get some of the books. But yeah, that's the books I'm reading right now. Really good stuff. Like I said, my favorite's probably Spread, followed by Rat Queens, then Birthright, then Copperhead. Hey, there's my lunch. So that's the end of the video. And let me know what you guys think. What do you read? What do you enjoy? Any new books you're looking forward to? I will talk to you guys later. Bye.